You know, every single second of every day, there's this massive, non-stop delivery service running inside your body, keeping every single cell alive and kicking. So today, we're going to take a look under the hood at that absolute masterpiece of engineering, the circulatory system.
I mean, just stop and think about that for a second. You've got trillions of cells. So how on earth does your body get crucial supplies, like oxygen and nutrients, to every last one of them, from your brain to your big toe? And then, how does it clean up all the mess? Well, the answer's pretty incredible.
So how does this whole thing work? Honestly, the best way to wrap your head around it is to picture a giant, super complex superhighway. I'm talking interstates, main roads, and little side streets, branching out to every single neighborhood in the massive city that is your body. At its core, the whole system is actually beautifully simple. It really just boils down to two main parts. You've got a central pump, that's the heart, and then you have all the roads that it pumps blood through. Those are the blood vessels. That's it. Together, they make up the body's most essential transport network.
And just like any good highway system, you need a powerful engine to keep all that traffic moving along. For us, that engine is the heart, this tireless, powerful pump right at the center of everything.
So what's the heart's big job? Well, it's actually a really clever dual-action pump. See, it doesn't just pump blood out to the body. First, it makes a super important pit stop, sending blood over to the lungs to grab a fresh tank of oxygen. Only then, once it's re-energized, does it pump that blood out to every other part of you.
Now, to pull off this amazing double-duty job, the heart is split into 4 separate rooms, or chambers. You've got 2 atria up top and 2 much more powerful ventricles down at the bottom. Let's take a look at what each pair actually does.
Okay, so the atria, those 2 upper chambers, think of them as the heart's waiting rooms or receiving docks. Their main job is just to collect all the blood that's coming back from its long journey around the body. Then they give it a little push down into the main pumping chambers below.
And these, the ventricles, are the real heavy lifters. These are the powerful lower chambers that do the serious work. They contract with incredible force to blast that blood away from the heart with enough oomph to get it all the way to the lungs, or even further, to the entire rest of the body.
And this is where you can see just how brilliant the heart's design is. If you actually look at a heart, the walls of the ventricles are way thicker and more muscular than the atria. Why? Well, it's just basic physics, right? The atria only need a tiny squeeze to move blood next door to the ventricles. But the ventricles, they need some serious muscle to generate the massive force required to push blood across the entire body. More work requires more muscle. Simple as that.
Okay, so we've got our engine, the heart. Now let's talk about the roads themselves. Because just like a real city's road network, our body has different kinds of roads for different jobs. You've got your massive highways, your main roads, and then all those tiny little local streets.
Our 2 main superhighways are the arteries and the veins, and they are built completely differently. Arteries carry blood away from the heart. Now that blood is under super high pressure, so to handle that force, artery walls have to be thick and elastic. Veins, on the other hand, bring that low-pressure blood back towards the heart, so their walls can be a lot thinner and less muscular. But wait a minute, if the blood in your veins is under such low pressure, how does it get all the way from your feet back up to your heart without just flowing backwards? Well, veins have a really cool trick up their sleeve. Tiny little one-way valves. They're like little gates that let the blood flow through towards the heart, but snap shut instantly if it tries to go the wrong way.
So if arteries and veins are the highways, what are the little local streets where the actual deliveries happen? Those are the capillaries. They're these microscopic vessels that connect arteries to veins, and their walls are ridiculously thin. We're talking just 1 single cell thick, and that's the key. It allows for the real business to happen. Oxygen and nutrients can easily pass out to the cells, and waste products like carbon dioxide can pass right back in.
All right, we have the pump and we have the roads. Now let's put it all together and trace the entire journey that blood takes. And here's the cool part. It's not just one big circle. It's actually a much, much smarter figure-of-8 system.
And if there's one number to remember for this whole system, it's 2. Because in this double circulatory system, blood has to pass through the heart twice for every single complete lap it makes around the body. And this little trick is what makes it so incredibly efficient.
So let's trace that figure-of-8 path together. First up, the right side of the heart pumps that used, deoxygenated blood over to the lungs. Step 2, that blood gets loaded up with fresh oxygen and returns to the left side of the heart. Then, step 3, the powerful left side of the heart pumps that good, oxygen-rich blood out to the entire body. And finally, the now deoxygenated blood comes all the way back to the right side of the heart, ready to start the whole loop all over again.
So we've gone over the pump, the pipes, and the pathway. Let's do a quick recap of the key features that make this whole system just a marvel of natural engineering.
This chart really brings it all home, doesn't it? The design of every single blood vessel is perfectly matched to its job. Arteries need those thick, beefy walls to handle the high-pressure blast from the heart. Veins need those clever one-way valves for the slow, low-pressure trip back. And capillaries need to be paper-thin so that all those deliveries and pickups can happen easily. It all just comes down to that perfect marriage of structure and function.
And that brings us right back to where we started. The circulatory system, when you boil it all down, is simply the heart and the vessels, working together as a perfect team to deliver everything your body needs to survive, to every single part of you.
So as we wrap up, here's one last thing to think about. This amazing system never, ever stops. Right now, as you're listening, it's delivering oxygen to your brain so you can even think about this stuff. It's carrying nutrients from your last meal, it's hauling away waste. So my question for you is this: what do you think is the single most important delivery it's making for you right now?